NASA just opened the largest asteroid sample but saw unexpected things inside. In a breathtaking moment that had scientists on the edge of their seats, NASA unveiled a cosmic treasure chest that promises to unlock the secrets of our early solar system. It was a historic day when the mighty doors of a space capsule swung open, revealing precious cargo, the largest asteroid sample ever retrieved from space. This celestial gift came from Bennu, an asteroid with an intriguing past. Think of it as a time capsule, preserving the ancient whispers of our solar system's birth. It's not just any space rock, it's a potential hazard, a relic from eons ago, carrying tales written in stardust. On a crisp 26th of September in 2023, at the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston, a hushed excitement filled the air. The world held its breath as the lid was gently lifted from the sample return canister, recently returned to Earth by the osiris-rex mission. The scientists, the adventurers of the cosmos, stared in awe at what lay beneath, a mysterious layer of dark dust and debris strewn across the avionics deck of the canister. But that wasn't all. In a twist that left even the experts astounded, the sample weighed a staggering 100 grams more than what was initially collected from the surface of Bennu. This is deep in the intrigue and left many unanswered questions. But what could be the origin of this enigmatic black dust that had settled on the avionics deck? And what clues to the past will they unearth in the detailed analysis of the most substantial asteroid sample ever to grace our planet? Join us as we delve into this journey of how NASA just opened the largest asteroid sample and the unexpected things they saw inside. So quickly subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Back in 2016, the osiris-rex mission kicked off with 3 big goals. First, they wanted to gather samples. They planned to pick up fresh stuff from the asteroid's surface so that smart people could study it and figure out what these space rocks are made of. Second, the mission aimed to learn about the asteroid itself. They wanted to map it out, know what it's made of, and see if it could be useful for future space missions. But the most important goal was to make sure Earth was safe. You see, the asteroid Bennu was supposed to swing pretty close to Earth in 2135. That's not too far away. But things get tricky because Earth's gravity and the Yarkovsky effect can nudge asteroids like Bennu in unexpected ways. The Yarkovsky effect is a bit like when the sun heats up one side of the asteroid, and then that side cools down when it turns away from the sun. This makes the asteroid move a little bit over time. It's hard to predict though, because it's not just gravity doing the work. Because of this tricky Yarkovsky effect, scientists have a hard time guessing where Bennu will be when it comes close to Earth in 2135. They have to think about a bunch of possible paths depending on how much the Yarkovsky effect pushes Bennu around. Some of these paths could line up with something called gravitational keyholes. If Bennu goes through one of these, Earth's gravity could change its path just right so that it hits Earth in the 22nd century. It's not likely, but scientists want to be sure about what could happen. But before you get lost, let's go back to how this all started. In a little over 2 years and 4 months, the mission to Bennu was an amazing adventure. On a chilly day in December 2018, osiris-rex finally reached its long-awaited destination, traveling an incredible distance of about 1.4 billion miles or 2.2 billion kilometers. Once it got there, the spacecraft circled the asteroid and began a series of careful surveys and mappings to find just the right spot to gather samples. But the most heart-pounding moment was yet to come for the osiris-rex team, and it arrived on a bright day in October 2020. Using its special touch-and-go sample acquisition mechanism, also known as TAGSAM, the spacecraft gently landed on Bennu to collect a piece of it. TAGSAM is like a robotic arm that reaches out to the spacecraft to grab a sample from an asteroid and stash it away for the trip back to Earth. Given Bennu's small size, the arm had to work in a near-weightless environment, making the task even more challenging. There was no room for mistakes, not even a tiny one. When the spacecraft finally made contact with Bennu, it used nitrogen gas to stir up the surface and grab some of the loose material into its collection chamber. The plan was to gather at least 60 grams, but in a quick 9-second encounter, osiris-rex snatched a whopping 300 grams, 5 times more than what everyone had hoped for. However, things got a bit tricky when some of the material started spilling out because of a stuck flap caused by big rocks. To prevent any more from getting away, NASA decided to skip measuring the sample and sealed it up tight for the journey home. On a sunny day in May 2021, osiris-rex bid farewell to Bennu and began its trip back to Earth. Nearly 2.5 years later, in late September 2023, the spacecraft finally reached Earth's neighborhood and released a special capsule carrying the precious asteroid sample. The capsule raced through our atmosphere at a mind-boggling speed of 12 kilometers per second before deploying a parachute to slow down. It landed safely at the Utah Test and Training Range, where NASA folks were ready to collect it. A few days later, the team at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston cracked open the lid on the canister that brought the sample home. What they found inside was both shocking and thrilling. The first thing that greeted their eyes was a layer of dark powder and sand-sized particles on the avionics deck of the sample canister, likely originating from bennu. This cosmic dust not only covered the inside of the canister, but also extended to its exterior, even reaching the avionics deck housing the electronics. The little bits of dust got out from the container through small holes between the cover and the body. So how did this happen? NASA suggests that when osiris-rex landed on bennu, its quick touch might have caused a strong wave that spread across the asteroid's surface, pushing some stuff into space. Also, some of it went into the sample container through the open part, mixing with the stuff collected by TagSam. The total weight of the sample, including the dust and pieces, is around 400 grams, which is more than what they needed for their science goals. Besides, it's said that the sample stayed in great condition because it didn't get too hot or dirty during the trip back. However, the dust and pieces on the control deck are a tricky problem. It means scientists have to be careful when they clean it, using special tools and ways. Their goal is to get rid of the dust and pieces without hurting the electronics or losing any of the material. Plus, they have to carefully write down and list each bit of dust and piece because they're important parts of the sample list. This trip to bring back the sample is a big moment in history. But why are space groups spending so much money to visit space rocks that are only about half a mile wide? You see, asteroids are like time capsules. They formed when the planets were still being made long ago. Asteroids are made of the same stuff as planets, but they haven't changed much over time like the Earth has. That means that they can tell us about the early solar system in a way that Earth can't. Scientists also found some interesting things on asteroids, like different kinds of tiny elements that make up living things. These tiny elements might be the pieces that put life together, and finding them on asteroids means they were around when the solar system was just starting. One asteroid called Ryugu is full of these tiny things. It's what we call a carbon-rich asteroid. In 2020, a spacecraft from Japan brought back some stuff from Ryugu for scientists to look at. They found all sorts of tiny things, even some that make up the elements living things need to work. These things are really important because they're the building blocks of the element that keeps living things going. It's like a clue that maybe these important bits came to Earth from space when it was still young. The next part of the osiris-rex mission, now called OSIRIS-APEX, is going to check out an asteroid named Apophis. Apophis is a big rock that's not too far from Earth, and it's supposed to get pretty close in 2029. People say there's a small chance it might even bump into Earth in 2068, but the chances are pretty low. OSIRIS-APEX will reach Apophis in April 2029, not long after it gets close to Earth. It'll spend a year and a half looking at Apophis from far away. During that time, it's going to use its special tools to take pictures and make maps of the asteroid and figure out how big and round it is. The OSIRIS-APEX mission is really important because it helps us understand more about rocks that get close to Earth and how they might cause problems for us. The things it finds out will help keep our planet safe from big rocks crashing into it. What do you think about the OSIRIS-REx mission? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more space exploration. See you in our next video, and thanks for watching.